It's me. Hi, Spill the Wine here. As some of you may have seen, I moved back in May. The place is finally coming together. Got some final big pieces of furniture, like a couch, ottoman, coffee table. The whole living room was just missing. But I am back to talk about wine. Considering it is basically winter here in Chicago, I'm reminded that it is this time last year that I did one of my first videos on the Costco wine advent calendar. As some of you may know, every year this box gets a lot of buzz, gets a lot of excitement on social. I went and looked at their Instagram and they did post wine advent calendar being in stock end of October 21st actually, on their Instagram page. It is the second week of November, so they hopefully should still have it. Before I go, I figured I'd just get my day started with some coffee and some breakfast and get some work done. All right, let's get to it. We have made it to Costco. We're here. I got a taxi here. Taxi costs like 50 bucks after tip, so very worth it. So I'm struggling to find the wine calendar. So last year it was literally like a stand right behind me where it was last year. And I'm also gonna get $7.99, great deal. Here we are. This is it. Here it is. Ready for checkout.
In the Sunday, 383.
Wait. Oh, okay. Table snagged. And just like that, sunset happened. I just went crazy dark while I was in Costco, waiting for Javier to show up. Trying to find the best place to wait for him. But that pizza was so good. Here it is. Alright, made it back. It was quite the hassle to get out of Costco. It took almost over an hour from commuting there and back. This box has 24 bottles, being 375 milliliters, which is half the size of a regular wine bottle. It was pretty heavy. I am going to unbox this, not tonight, but I will open this up later this week and we'll see you then. And we're back. 3 days ago, it was high of 55, high of 60, and today we're in a high of 30s. I was out for a walk earlier to get some coffee, and it felt like it was actually more in the teens. But here we are inside of the warmth, and time to open up the wine advent calendar. I'm testing around different heights right now with the camera, so bear with me. Figured it was easier to try to do it from the floor. Just wanted to make it real fun and cozy that you are opening this with me for the first time. As you can tell, I have the scissors here. Literally nothing has been changed, like no tape isn't coming off, so you are truly experiencing the unboxing with me, which is something I really wanted. So let's just go ahead and get started. You'd think for a box this heavy, they would try to have a little more structure with the taping, but it really is just this little circle tape thing that you see on like when you're opening like chocolate packages. Okay, there you go. To the trash. 2 little inserts here. Here are the dates. So to debrief too about what we saw on the outside of the boxes, we have wine advent calendar sign here, car with 2 fun, loving couple driving around with a ton of gifts. This side we have someone, seemingly a male with a beard, carrying a big bouquet of flowers, and we have ice skating rink image of a few people skating around in front of this little like winter village. Pretty cute. And then the top here is 2 people kind of walking around. And then this side, forgot about this side, you have a few people skiing. Nowhere on the box do they give even any hint of all about where the wine bottles are from. None of the names, which is something that was actually on the side here last year. There's a QR code on the box, QR code here on this little corner, but the bigger QR code is at the top of the box right here. So you could see every day and actually shows you different things, where the wine is from, the grapes that are in it, what makes it this special kind of wine based on the region that it's from or the country, the origin of the grapes, and the flavor profiles and notes of the wine. Similar to last year, you can see they have different numbers all around the box. I think I actually prefer having an all-in-one order so I know where to go to, but they do have the 24th right here at the end of the bottom right. At least you know for sure when it comes to the 24th of December. There it is. This year the designs are more simple holiday foliage of garlands and mistletoe versus last year's more fun, cute like winter animals, which I think actually was a little sweet. We won't judge the book by its cover yet. We really care about what's inside the wine. So let's just get started with number 1. You have Right Hook Cabernet Sauvignon from Bulgaria. The front of the bottle has quite a unique illustration of seemingly what appears to be a boxer. There's different things like I'm fine, an anchor, tattoo. So in here it says too, again, there's the QR code in the back of the bottle, and it says scan to learn more about the wine, or also visit wineadvent-ure.com. This distinctive Cabernet is a perfect example of Bulgaria's formidable advances in wine quality. With a medium body and soft, fresh finish that hints of wild cherries. If I had to pick between a red and a white wine, I'd actually prefer drinking a red wine if it's just kind of by itself. I want to have a cab. I'll pair with a strong dish like meat or a filet mignon or even a chicken marsala. Day number 1. Ooh, Meadow Moon, a Chardonnay. A winemaker select Vino Bianco d'Italia. So this is an Italian white wine with a heaty nose of orchard fruit and a rich creamy palate. The unique character of our Italian Chardonnay derives from the convergence of tradition and innovation. Of the white wines, I do prefer a Chardonnay the most. Actually, my favorite Chardonnay is the Sonoma La Crema Chardonnay. I'll put a link to that in the description if you haven't seen that before. I'll put a photo up here. Overall, I just love a Chardonnay because it's known for its strong oak notes and flavors in the palate. Curious to see if this Chardonnay will have an oaky taste note as well. I don't think I've had a Chardonnay from Italy before, so this will be an interesting first one for me. Maybe they can make opening these a little easier and not feel like I'm ripping and tearing up the box while I'm opening. This is day 3. We have a Portuguese wine. We are still in Europe. Birds on a Wire, a red wine blend from Portugal. Our winemaking team has generations of experience working with the region's fruit, and every bottle is a triumph of skill. Usually a red wine blend will have varieties of different like red grapes that make up a Cab or a Merlot, or even the grapes that go into Pinot Noir. That's always kind of the fun think about a red blend is you never really know what you could get from combining it. I mean, you can have an idea based on what grapes make up a single variety of a wine, but when you kind of combine things, that's the kind of the glorious part of it during the fermentation process, to really figure out what notes and what scents you'll get from that. I'm always game for trying a red blend. So right now we have 3 in Europe, 1 from Bulgaria, Italy, and we have Portugal, which is kind of the landscape last year. And so I'm hoping that we're seeing some well-balanced wines this time and not just heavily Europe, old world. For anyone who's interested in trying wines, just always be open to trying out different countries and not get sometimes so fixated on, oh, I'm only a French wine person or Italian wine person. You can certainly have your preferences, but just like in anything in life, just be open to trying new things. Ooh, we have white disheveled Taylor from Hungary. All right, Hungary has entered the wine advent calendar list. New country. If I remember, I think there was a Hungarian wine last year too. Konaglish. I will try to figure out how to pronounce it, but it's spelled very differently than how I would think to pronounce it. The vineyards that produce this unique white are grown in one of Hungary's best terroirs. This attention-grabbing, captivating white blend of fresh and bright with zippy acidity and crisp citrus fruit on the palate. Oh, here we go. We have a Grenache. And that's a specific type of variety of wine, a Grenache, one of the region's most celebrated grape varieties. This bold Spanish red boasts a juicy, exorbitantly fruity, tasty profile with notes of cherry, red licorice, and spice. An interesting thing they've done with the label here, which is something that you might hear or see in other vineyards, depending on where you live, is the number of the latitude. Latitudes are very important when picking a place to grow your grapes and produce wine, because there's only certain regions in the world where the soil, the temperature, the climate are conducive to producing a wine and the life cycle of a grape to make sure that it grows. So if I'm looking at a photo here, 40 latitude definitely crosses through Portugal. Probably showed a better photo, but you can see there how it crosses. Not the easiest to open this box, I will say. Day 6, we have Divine Pondering Pinot Noir, North Macedonia. I have a feeling Macedonia may have been in the box last year, but I should have looked back at my video, to be honest. But again, I just really wanted to be in the experience of knowing what I was unboxing here. So Divine Pondering Pinot Noir, North Macedonia. We are still in Europe. North Macedonia has a long history of producing world-class wine. This wine features classic varietal notes of red cherry and strawberry that envelop an earthy core with soft tannins and fresh acidity on the finish. Another tally for acidity. Of the red wines, Pinot Noirs aren't usually my go-to, but I've had Pinot Noirs with chicken before, or chicken parm, and that's usually a pretty good pairing. So recommendation there for Pinot Noirs. Okay, we got a white wine. So now we have 3 white wines and 4 red wines. This white wine is from South Africa. Oh my gosh, wait. Last year I remember trying a Chenin Blanc for the first time and I absolutely loved it. It was so interesting, so unique. Kind of was a combination of what I've had before with the Chardonnay with the kind of like Pinot Grigio type combination. But this Chenin Blanc is a variety unique to South Africa. It's green apple, verbena, and honeysuckle core lead to a laser-focused, detailed finish. We love it with charcuterie, seafood, or a simple roast chicken in a cream sauce. I'm very curious to see how different this Chenin Blanc is than the one I had last year, but most likely pretty similar. But that was also our first wine outside of Europe. That was a New World wine of South Africa, the Western Cape. If you're interested to know why South Africa is a good region for developing wine, from my own general research from last year, I learned that South Africa actually has kind of like a mountain region that is protected by other elements or what have you. And just because of how this region kind of developed with the mountains and how it's kind of just that soil, that terroir, just in a way developed and became the perfect temperature. It became the perfect area to develop these grape varieties. So that is kind of South Africa's kind of secret to making these wines, is they got lucky with this area of land that was conducive to producing the wines. Really unique, and you wouldn't see really anywhere else in the world. Day 8, we have Crowned Beast Saperavi from Georgia. I don't remember if there was a Georgia wine last year, but this would be my first wine from this country of Georgia. Georgia is the birthplace of wine, home to the world's oldest winemaking culture. Well, there you go. The Saperavi grape is almost as ancient as Georgia itself, known for the deeply colored, rich flavored, muscular wines it produces. It's a vinous step back in time and a true wine adventure. If you all thought that the history of wine is originating from Italy, maybe to a certain extent, but you heard it here first. Georgia is the birthplace of wine. Yeah, and let's look more into the Saperavi grape. Saperavi is an acidic type grape variety native to the country of Georgia, where it is used to make many of the region's most well-known wines. It is also grown in Russia. Okay, I've heard of this type of wine from Russia, so that's interesting to know that it's actually originating mostly from Georgia. Our first rosé, Pinky Truce, Vino Rosato from Italy. Our Italian rosé from Puglia features all the good stuff we love about rosé with a dried cranberry palate. This rosé is built for enjoyment and is sure to please. Okay, I feel like I kind of read a line like that in last year's labels too. They might be repeating some coffee. If I were to pick between French rosés and Italian, I'd probably go for the Italian. I do like a dry wine, but still with some hint of sweetness or even just elevated flavor. And I find a lot of French rosés are just kind of like that one noted dry. And there's definitely a palate for that. I have some friends that are just all they drink is French rosé. I'm loving the label too. So that is our first rosé. So that's one rosé, 3 white wines, and 4 reds. Basically mostly all from Europe except one from South Africa. On to day 10. So it makes me think we got a red wine for day 10. I was right. The Butchery, a Cabernet Sauvignon. We were learning about Georgia wine and its connection to grape that is also seen in Moldova and Russia. Our Moldovan Cabernet vineyards are planted on terraced hillside vineyards in one of the oldest wine regions on earth. This hardy old world red is chiseled and forward with intense aromas of currant and mocha. Oh, this is an interesting label. Racer 68, a Montepulciano di Abruzzo variety. And I do remember trying this type of variety last year because I did some research on what this grape is about, because it was the first time I'd even heard of the grape, let alone the region. Italy is just filled with a variety of grapes. The good life can still be found in Italy's Abruzzo region, where things are done slowly and methodically with an eye to the future, but feet firmly planted in the past. That is literally verbatim what was in 2021. I remember literally saying this because using the word methodically and feet firmly planted in the past was a little much. Same copy from last year, so calling you out there. Halfway there, we're on day 12. I do not remember drinking a Luxembourg wine last year, so this might be a first. Still in Europe, but our Luxembourg Raviner vineyards overlook the Moselle River, a viticultural paradise that has been associated with fine wine production since ancient Roman times. What? We got ancient Roman wine in this advent calendar. That's a first. Yeah, I haven't heard of this grape variety before. Although not commonly seen outside of Luxembourg, the Raviner grape is the country's most planted varietal. For the most part, a lot of white wines pair well with really any type of food. Well with seafood, goes well with chicken. Light on a hot summer day, it's just a nice little crisp thing to have with some cheese and crackers. Quick little tally check because we are halfway there. We have 1 rosé from Italy. We have 4 white wines, also mostly from Europe, except 1 from South Africa, the Chenin Blanc. And then we have 7 red wines, and a lot of those red wines are from Old World. We have Italy, Moldova, Portugal, Spain, and Georgia, and Bulgaria. So a lot of Old World red wines. Okay, Classic Cruise, a Tempranillo from Spain. I also had it in last year's advent calendar. This full-bodied, distinctively spicy red from Spain, and bold and intense, this Tempranillo is full of black cherry, raspberry, and sweet leather character. Just clarity there, no wine has actual leather in it at all. That's just a tasting note, a profile that they use to describe the flavor, the smell, when they taste and smell the wine. That's why you'll hear a lot of things like a wine tastes like earth, a wine tastes like dirt, a wine tastes like pears, apples, oranges. There aren't actually fruits in there. That's just the combination of the chemicals that are formed together during the fermentation process that give just connections in your brain that make you think that is what you're smelling and tasting. They're not in there. It's just grapes. So Tempranillo is a grape variety that is very common in Spain. And very full-bodied. I remember last year's when I tried it, it was really bold, really good. Day 14, the perfect match. Get it? Perfect match. Punny. I always appreciate a pun. This is a Merlot from France, and a Merlot grape variety is traditional to France. In this part of France, one always finds time to eat a relaxed, nourishing meal, even in the most rushed of workdays. Merlot is an indispensable part of the local culture, and we hope it plays a role in yours as well. Oh, well, thank you so much, France. I will say though, Merlots are not my favorite red wine. They're very much at the bottom. I will still give it a try because this is what I signed up for, but that's just my personal preference. Some of you may love Merlot and that's okay. That's great. More Merlot for you, less for me. I can focus on others. Looking at this now, we still have a lot more reds, a lot of Europe, and not a lot of New World. We're still at 1 rosé, 4 white wines, and now we're at 9 red wines. Day 15. That was just a cute little label. Little ditty from Spain. You got this cute little bird here playing. You see the music notes there? Okay, this is probably my favorite label so far, which I shouldn't be judging and liking by the label, but let's face it, a lot of people do pick wines from the label. If I saw this at a store, I'd probably go and try it. Another Spanish wine, a Macabeo grape, which was in last year's advent calendar. This Macabeo grape is a rich, deep white wine with a heady, exotic floral bouquet. On the palate, there are melon and almond notes on a plump frame with surprising breadth and volume. But yeah, I do remember actually liking this white wine. And good to see another white wine added to the list here, guys. Based on how many days we have left, I'm assuming we might have probably 2-3 more red wines to go, maybe 1 or 2 white wines. Hopefully 1 more rosé. Let's keep going. Another red. Point taken, a Shiraz from South Africa. Okay, we are back in South Africa. I think they did this last year actually. South Africa had 2 wines in the box. One was the white Chenin Blanc and a red, but it was a different grape, I believe. So this is a Shiraz from the Western Cape, so the same region that grows the Chenin Blanc. Our South African Shiraz pours a dark purple color that appears like a reflection of its dark fruited soul. Oh my gosh. Blackberry, dark plum, and cocoa notes are delivered by means of a powerful, smooth, and balanced wine. Blackberry, dark plum are also 2 very popular fruits to use to describe bold red wines. And Shiraz is definitely one of those bolder grape varieties. And this will be, I think, my first Shiraz in a while. 17. Here, kitty kitty. Here's your white wine. Don't actually give your cat white wine. Nonetheless, a cute little label. Maybe I just like more of the cute animal labels. Maybe that's my thing when it comes to wine. Trebbiano, Italy, DOC, so another protected region. Trebbiano is an old world grape, respected and traditional. It features a spicy, fruity core with tropical fruit notes and a crisp finish. As you can see, it's definitely not just the label. It may be the color of the bottle, but this is looking a little green to me. Are you guys seeing that? Let me pull up the other white wine. So this is the Chardonnay, and then this is the Here Kitty Kitty. Do you see the difference? The color of the bottle, I want to say look the same, is much more green. Interesting. So we have 6 white wines. We have Italy, South Africa, and a sprinkle of newer countries that I haven't seen before, like Luxembourg, Hungary, and yes, Spain. So we have Spain, Italy, Luxembourg, Hungary, and South Africa. We're still at our 1 little rosé. Yeah, we have 10 red wines now. A red, Nightfall, Monastrell, Spain. Our Spanish red features aromas of sweet leather and tobacco, no actual tobacco in this wine, with flavors of black cherry, raspberry, and cedar. I don't think I've heard of this grape variety before, Monastrell. So this will be a first for me. Let me look it up real quick. I actually get Mataro. That is a red wine grape variety grown in many regions around the world, including the Rhone and Provence regions of France, Valencia and Jumilla, Spain. The taste profiles, according to Wine Folly, are dry, full body, high tannin, and medium acidity. This will be a first for me, and it looks pretty good, so I'm excited to try it. Now we're up at 11 red wines, our 6 white and 1 rosé. I do it one more time. What? Another rosé? That is awesome. Ring, ring. What a fun design. Ring, ring. What? What? Who are you? Who's calling? Some of the very best vineyards in northern Italy are sourced to produce this crisp, fresh, fruity rosé wine. So you can relax and enjoy a tantalizing, pink, bursting, and red fruit character, savory herbs, and a clean, persistent finish. I could not be more happy right now. For 2 rosés, so now we're at 2 rosés, both from Italy. We have 6 white wines from Italy, South Africa, Luxembourg, Hungary, and Spain. 11 red wines. Day 20. Red wine. This is a fun one too. Fleu de Coupe, a Syrah from France. This Syrah displays heap of dark fruit on the palate and is smoky, peppery, with soft ripe tannins and a long finish, all in one sip. Really? All of that? I've had Syrahs before too. There was a Syrah from France in last year's advent calendar. Fun name, fun label, excited to try. That is 12 red wines, that is half the box. And potentially even more, because we still have 4 more days. A white wine, El Campeón, Fernão Pires Blanco. The good life can still be found in Portugal, where things are done slowly and methodically with an eye to the future. But oh my God, is this literally the same? No way. Oh my God, wait, I need to find it. One of these had the feet firmly in the past. Where is it? It is literally the same copy, guys. It was the Montepulciano. Oh my God, this is ridiculous. Guys, how could they not have caught this? For the Italian Montepulciano d'Abruzzo and the Portuguese white wine blend. Literally the same copy. Read it for yourselves. The good life can still be found in Portugal, in Italy, feet firmly held in the past, but this is unreal. What the heck? I don't know why they would do this. This is a Portuguese white wine blend, Fernão Pires, which is 70%, and then 30% Branco Arinto. I remember talking about Fernão Pires last year. So now we are up to 7 white wines. Struck King. There was a Struck King last year, but it was a Struck King Chardonnay. I would think that was day 1 of last year's advent calendar. Struck King, Italy, red wine, semi-dry. Our semi-dry red is a luscious, succulent, easy drinking blend. The type you'd find in any trattoria from Piedmont to Puglia. The Struck King Chardonnay was pretty decent last year. We'll see what this red wine has to offer. 2 more days, guys, almost there. Day 23, Seaworth, Sauvignon Blanc from Spain. I don't think I've had a Sauvignon Blanc from Spain before. This Sauvignon Blanc is intensity, aromatic, exotic. The palate features tropical fruit notes, vibrant acidity, makes the Sauvignon Blanc feel alive in the glass and bright as the Spanish skies. So this is now, I think, the second white wine from Spain, because we have the Macabeo. Before day 24, just want to call out what we have. 2 rosés from Italy. We have 8 white wines. We kind of up that tally a bit. We have 14 red wines. So that's more than half of the box, guys. So just FYI there. If you're more of a red wine person, amazing. If you're not, then you might have to give away some red wines to your friends. Last day of the advent calendar, here we go. Ta-da! This is a Cabernet Sauvignon, my 2 cents. This Cabernet Sauvignon is French. Its homeland in France, Cabernet has experienced a vinous diaspora. This Pays DOC red celebrates Cabernet's global influence with classic currant, plum, coffee notes, and an easygoing, rounded finish. And again, one more time, I want to call out that QR code. That's what you can scan. You just click on the date and then it shows everything. It even shows a quick little video about it too. That is it, guys. 24 days of wine. Now to trying them. That will not be today. That'll be for a different video. I guess just my quick 2 cents here before closing it out. I was expecting a champagne. I was expecting a Brut. That was the wine for day 24 last year, and I waited to open that for New Year's, and it was the perfect little bottle to enjoy. So, oh well, they didn't do that this year. Instead, they gave us a lot of red wine. So if you want an experience that gives you more New World wines, and this may not be the advent calendar for you, but if you're just someone who likes wine, wants to try anything and everything, then this is definitely a great box, because you get a variety of things, get a good balance of the whites, the rosés too, and a bunch of just red grape varieties that you wouldn't have heard of before. Like I haven't heard of the Saperavi from Georgia. I have not heard of that before, and that'll be a first for me. But this is the Costco wine advent calendar. Thank you guys so much for watching. The next part of the video will be tasting all these wines. And thank you again for everyone who's subscribed. I haven't been as active as I wanted to be since I moved, but thank you to everyone who subscribed, who's seen these videos, who have maybe found an interest in this. Like I love that each bottle of wine has its own life in a way, its own story, its own timeline, different age, different years, different process, different grapes. So yeah, thank you to everyone who's followed along. Make sure to like and subscribe. Comment below if you found this box, what your thoughts are on the different bottles. Were you also hoping for a sparkling wine? I certainly was. And also give it a share. If you are someone that likes wine and you know a friend that also likes wine, maybe you want to tackle tasting this wine with a friend or a partner or loved one, share it with them. Thank you so much, and salud!